Imagine a car that humbled Ferraris, left Porsches in its wake, and rewrote the definition of what a supercar could be. A machine born not in Italy or Germany, but in Japan. A car so powerful, it earned a monstrous nickname, Godzilla. For 18 years, the Nissan GT-R R35 roared across streets, circuits, and movie screens, becoming a legend of modern performance. But in 2025, production finally ended. Tonight, we explore the full story, from its roots in the Skyline era to its groundbreaking technology to the regulations and market shifts that forced its retirement, and finally, to what comes next. The GT-R story didn't begin in 2007. It began in 1969 with the first Skyline GT-R, the PGC-10. Nicknamed the Hakosuka, Hako for box, Suka from Skyline, it looked like an ordinary sedan, but packed a 2.0-liter inline-six S20 engine with 160 horsepower, astonishing for its time. On the track, it was unstoppable, claiming 50 wins in just 3 years and cementing the GT-R legend. In 1973, the GT-R shifted to a coupe, the KPGC-110. But the oil crisis killed production after only 197 units, sending the name into silence. That was silenced in 1989 with the R32 Skyline GT-R. Twin-turbo RB26D ETT and ATTESA AWD all-wheel drive made it dominate the racing so thoroughly that it became known as Godzilla. Between 1990 to 1993, it won 29 consecutive Japanese touring car races. Then came the R33 in 1995, more advanced. Then the mass-market darling R34 in 1999, small, powerful, and a pop sensation in Gran Turismo, Fast and Furious, and tuner garages globally. By the year 2002, the R34 had vanished and Nissan was struggling. Everyone thought the myth was gone. Until then, CEO Carlos Ghosn vowed the GT-R would return. It did in 2007, in reborn form as the R35, no longer a Skyline, but a supercar slayer set to take on Ferrari and Porsche. When Nissan finally revealed the R35 GT-R at the 2007 Tokyo Motor Show, it was not just another sports car, it was a declaration. The world had been waiting years for the Japanese behemoth to deliver something exceptional, and Nissan didn't fail. As the covers were whipped away, a video screen sprang into life with a time that took the industry by the throat. 7 minutes, 38 seconds around the Nürburgring Nordschleife. Faster than the mighty Porsche 911 Turbo. Faster than a Ferrari F430. The message was unmistakable. Japan had produced a supercar that could take on the best from Europe. The brain behind this car was the VR38D ETT, a 3.8-liter twin-turbo V, six-packing 480 horsepower. But raw muscle was half the story. The R35 complemented that muscle with engineering wizardry. The ATTESA AWD all-wheel drive system that delivered torque with pinpoint accuracy, and a dual-clutch transmission that swapped gears quicker than the blink of an eye, unleashing the car with barbaric acceleration. The reward? A 0 to 100 km/h sprint in 3.6 seconds, with quarter miles annihilated in under 12. What stunned the world wasn't performance, but value. Priced at about half the cost of its German and Italian rivals, the GT-R offered supercar performance for sports car money. From that point on, the R35 legend had begun. What gave the R35 its soul wasn't just power, it was craftsmanship. Every GT-R engine was hand-assembled by one of only 4 master craftsmen, known as the Takumi. Each signed a small plaque on the engine they built, a symbol of precision and pride. The car's complex all-wheel drive system constantly shifted power between front and rear axles, giving it unmatched cornering grip. The transmission could launch the car with such violence that early owners joked it felt like being punched in the chest. It wasn't subtle, it was brutal, efficient, and utterly focused on speed. And it earned respect quickly. The GT-R wasn't just fast, it was cultural. Gamers grew up racing it in Gran Turismo. Moviegoers saw it steal the spotlight in Fast and Furious. In Australia, Japan, and the US, it became the car you feared pulling up next to at the lights. Tuners loved it too. With upgrades, the VR38 engine could push past 1,000 horsepower, with some builds reaching 2,000. It wasn't just a car. It was a platform for obsession. By the mid-2010s, the GT-R had become Nissan's halo car, selling about 48,000 units worldwide, including 17,000 in Japan alone. Over its long life, the R35 GT-R became more than just one car. It became a family of legends. Nissan understood that to keep Godzilla alive, it had to evolve, and so came a series of special editions that pushed boundaries and honored heritage. In 2013, the world met the GT-R Nismo, the ultimate factory-tuned version. With 600 horsepower, enhanced aerodynamics, and track-focused suspension, it set a blistering 708 lap time at the Nürburgring, making it one of the fastest production cars in history. It wasn't just a trim, it was a statement of intent. Then came exclusivity at its highest, the GT-R 50 by Ital Design. Limited to just 19 units, each car cost around $1 million. With 710 horsepower under the hood and a futuristic coach-built body, it transformed the GT-R into an ultra-rare collectible. Nissan also paid homage to its past, reintroducing legendary colors, midnight purple, Bayside Blue, Millennium Jade, each evoking the spirit of earlier Skyline GT-Rs. These touches reminded fans that while the R35 was new, it never forgot where it came from. Each special edition etched another chapter into the R35's legacy, keeping the legend fresh even as the years passed. But legends can't outrun time forever. In Australia, 2021, new side impact safety rules ended sales. In Europe and the UK, 2022, stricter drive-by noise regulations silenced the GT-R. In North America, 2024, emission standards and fuel economy targets made it impossible to continue. Even in Japan, its final stronghold, regulations were tightening. To update the R35 to meet these standards would have required a total redesign, costing Nissan hundreds of millions. As engineer Mitsutaka Matsumoto admitted, development costs made it impossible to continue at an affordable price. At the same time, sales slowed. In Australia, just 19 cars were sold in the first 8 months of 2021. Globally, the GT-R became a niche machine for die-hard fans. And so, in March 2025, Nissan closed the order books. The final car, a midnight purple T-Spec, rolled off the line at Nissan's Tochigi plant. Workers who had built the GT-R for nearly 2 decades gathered to see it completed. Some had spent their entire careers perfecting this one car. In a farewell video, Nissan President Ivan Espinosa declared, "The R35 has left a lasting mark on the automotive industry. It elevated the GT-R nameplate and created a legacy. We owe much of its success to our loyal customers. It was the end of an era, an 18-year run, unmatched in GT-R history. But this isn't the end of Godzilla. Nissan has promised the GT-R badge will return. Reports suggest the next generation, possibly the R36, will feature a hybrid powertrain, mixing electric torque with turbocharged fury. Nissan has also teased the Hyperforce concept, a fully electric supercar, hinting at what the GT-R could become in a zero-emissions world. As Espinosa said, the GT-R badge is not for just any vehicle. It is reserved for something truly special. The R35 proved Japan could build a world-beating supercar. Its legacy is secure. They know one thing: legends never die. They evolve. And one day soon, Godzilla will rise again."